everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, my name is Dina. Welcome to the family. So today I wanted to give you a whole bunch of tips on how to deal with, style, maintain curly hair, because I can tell you I'm learning every single day. I'm still learning, but I have learned so much over the years with my hair, and unfortunately a lot of these things took a really long time for me to figure out, like most of my life, and curly hair can be a struggle for a lot of people. So I just want to give you the tips that have made my life so much easier and the tips that have kept my hair very healthy and able to grow quite long. So the first thing that you need to absolutely make sure you're checking is to make sure that you're using the right shampoo for your hair. I cannot tell you how many years I use the most basic shampoo. Honestly, I just use whatever my mom bought for me, and this is nothing on her. This is not her fault. She just didn't know at the time. But a lot of the shampoos that you find at like drugstores and Walmart and stuff, like Pantene, L'Oreal, all those basic ones that you see commercials on TV all the time for, most of them have sulfates in there, and they're really not that good for your hair. I feel like anyone should be using a sulfate-free shampoo, but especially if you have curly or dry hair, then you should be staying far away from these things. Honestly, it just takes you investing a little bit more money in a good quality shampoo. You don't have to get the highest of high end, but I find that even just like $14 usually gets you a better shampoo. There's like Marc Anthony ones, there's like the Shea Moisture brand that I use. Honestly, just always look at your ingredients of your shampoo, make sure it's very nourishing and make sure it is free of sulfates. One of the most popular ones you'll see on there is sodium Laureth sulfate, and basically it's the ingredients that gives this shampoo its like bubbly or foamy formula. So while we're on the topic of washing hair, I just wanted to mention for my next tip that you really shouldn't be washing your hair more than once a week. Curly hair tends to be a lot more dry, and therefore you really need to allow your natural oils to nourish your hair. And if you're shampooing your hair a lot, then you're really stripping your hair of its natural oils and moisture. I like to try and plan my hair washes around my activities. So for example, if I know I'm going to be doing a really sweaty workout or like a dance class or something, I'll like save my hair wash for that day. My next tip is with conditioning your hair in the shower. And this is something that I kind of just realized, I would say, in the last like year or so. And if you have really tangly hair, like if you're about to go in your shower and you're like, oh my god, it's gonna be such a pain to try and get through this. I've had days where my hair is just so tangly. What I learned is if you put your conditioner on your hair first before you get in the shower, like before your hair's wet, it actually works so much better. I take a whole bunch of conditioner, and I have like a cheapy conditioner that I can use to detangle my hair, and then I have like my better quality conditioner. My cheapy one's still fairly good, but it's not like as nourishing, but it's fantastic for detangling your hair. So I take a bunch of pumps of that and I literally coat my hair with that conditioner while it's dry, and then allow it to sit while I'm doing other things in the shower. So if I'm shaving or washing or whatever, and then I'll go in and wet my hair and comb through it. And by that time, the conditioner seems to soak into the hair really well, and it allows me to get through my hair so much better. My hair's just softer, it's less tangly, it just honestly makes your life so much easier. Now I just mentioned combing. When you comb your hair, use a wide tooth comb. Brushes are a big no-no for curly hair, and when you're using the wide tooth comb, start with your ends and then work your way up. Never just pull from the root down, because that's just gonna damage your hair. You wanna be gentle with your curls. I know sometimes you just wanna go in and you're like, just get this done, this is taking too long, but honestly, be patient and kind to your curls, please. Now this next tip is honestly the biggest, I feel, for curly hair, and it is the reason why my hair is so healthy today, or at least one of the main reasons, and why it has grown to be so long. And it's because I've eliminated most heat. Sometimes I'll blow dry, and I'll get into that in a second, but I've eliminated curling my hair, which sounds really stupid because I have curly hair, but I used to straighten my hair quite often, and I used to like straighten it and then curl it with the curling one, so I get like beachy waves. And as much as I love that look, the amount of hair damage I did was just like, oh my god. I would say it was around grade 11 of high school that I noticed this, because my hair was getting less bouncy. It was just like had a little bit of a wave. I thought that my curls weren't gonna come back because I damaged it so much. Honestly, if you just like cut off the heat and continue to stick with that and take really good care of your hair and use good quality products, keep your hair hydrated, your hair will come back, but you have to cut out the heat. And I know some people want to change the style up every now and then. I can understand that. Try to keep it to a a minimum, and then make sure you're using some sort of protective product first. But for me, honestly, like, I've just grown to love and embrace my hair, and I have not straightened my hair in years. Like, it's been years since I styled my hair straight. I'm just determined to like save money and just get some wigs if I want to change up my style, because I don't want to damage my hair. Now, as far as blow drying goes, sometimes I will blow dry my hair, especially in the winter time because my hair takes so long to dry. Then I don't want to go outside in the cold because my hair is still wet, and then it freezes and then I get these crunchy frozen curls, and it's just not fun. So I will use my blow dryer then, but always make sure you're using a diffuser, because a diffuser is going to prevent your curls from getting very frizzy, and it kind of, I feel like, protects your hair too, so it's not just like full on like blast of heat contact. The heat gets dispersed in a way. And then also I try to just stick to the first level or the lowest heat, so it's not too hot on my hair. And another tip for blow drying, I find personally that if I blow dry my hair when I get straight out of the shower, or my hair is still really wet or damp, it doesn't work as well. My hair actually gets quite frizzy and the curls don't hold as much. So I actually let my hair air dry a little bit first and then I blow dry. But honestly, at the end of the day, I find my curls just look so much better when they air dry. They're just a lot more tight and they're less frizzy and they're just a lot more defined. Now I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit because I have another tip I just thought of, and it doesn't really go in the order of everything I just explained, but hair creams are your best friend. You cannot expect your curls to just be automatically defined and gorgeous without anything. Like, you can't get out of the shower and be like, okay, I'm gonna go now, because your hair is gonna shrink in weird ways. It's gonna get frizzy. One curl's gonna be defined, but the other's gonna be like this big frizz ball. Curls just don't function without hair cream or some sort of styling product. I personally like the products from Shea Moisture. Those are the products I have been using for many years now, and they are very hydrating. You'll also have to take into consideration that the type of hair cream that you use will give you different types of curls. For example, my stretch cream that's a little bit stickier and thicker is really good at elongating my curls, and it sometimes gives me a little bit more of a wavy curl, whereas one of my lighter creams tend to give my hair more bounce. So really, depending on the kind of curl that you're going for, choose accordingly, and yeah, choose the right cream for you. Now, when you're styling your hair with a hair cream, there's different techniques. You can just run your hand through your curls and make sure you coat all of your hair, because if you miss a little bit in the back, it's going to be puffy and it's not going to be defined, and you're not going to be happy once your hair dries in a few hours. If you have more hair than me or thicker hair than me, I recommend doing like the half up, half down. Put some of it up, go through this part, make sure you get all the curls covered in all the product, and then put that hair back, and then bring this hair down, and then do that hair. Another thing, if you're just running your hair through your curl, your hair is going to look something like this, depending on obviously your curl type. Everyone's curl is different. But if you do the little finger twist trick where you try and coil your curl more and make it more defined, you're gonna end up with curls that look a little bit more like that. So I just did it in the front so you can kind of get an idea of the difference of curls, but this is just running my fingers through my hair, and this is me doing the little finger twist trick. So if you want your curls really, really neat, then this is a good trick to use. I actually did this trick for my graduation photo for university, and my hair just looked like perfect. Like, there wasn't a single hair out of place. It takes a lot more time, so it's not something that I like to do every day by any means. I'm usually just like, okay, let's put the product in and get going. I don't have that much time to spare. But I find it does make your curls look extremely neat if you have like a special occasion or something and you just really want that definition. Now, like our skin can go through phases where we have like, you know, more oil some seasons, or like sometimes we're more dry and stuff, our hair goes through the same thing. And especially around the winter time, I find my hair gets quite a bit drier. So honestly, when you're going through this, hair masks are such an amazing addition to your hair routine. I like to use this one from Shea Moisture. This is just one of them. This is actually the newest one that I'm trying from Shea Moisture. It is the sugarcane extract and meadow foam seed silicone free miracle mask with marshmallow root. This is just one of the mini masks that you can get out there for girly hair. They have another one from this line that I really like. I can't really remember the name of it right now. If you don't want to invest in a tub, you can honestly just get those little packets. One bag gets you 1 to 2 uses depending on how much hair you have. When my hair is really dry, I like to do something like that like a couple times a month or every other week or something like that, depending on how dry your hair is, what you need. I'll put a whole bunch of that on my hair, and then I will put my hair up and I'll let it sit for a bit and then rinse later. Or if you really feel like you need a lot of hydration, you could always leave it overnight and just put a shower cap on your head to bed. Yeah, if you need a little extra hydration, incorporating a hair mask is really helpful, or even like a hair oil would actually be really beneficial for your hair. So my next really important tip is when you get your hair cut, make sure you are getting it cut by someone who knows how to cut curly hair. I cannot express that enough because there's so many people out there who have a lot of experience with hair and they may think that they can do it, but curly hair is so different. Do not let anyone experiment on you. Make sure you're looking for someone that knows curly hair. There's actually curly hair specialists or like hairdressing places that you can go to that are specifically for curly hair. When I got my hair cut, I went to the Curl Ambassadors. They know how to deal with curly hair, and if you go there, you'll see that everyone that works there has curly hair. Like, they know curly hair. A big thing with cutting curly hair is you have to be careful because curls bounce, and they all are kind of unique in their bounce. So you have to be careful how much you take off because it could just end in disaster. So one of the best techniques that curly hair hairdressers will use is they'll actually cut your hair while it's dry. Because when it's dry, you can have an idea of how much it's gonna bounce and you know what it's gonna look like. Whereas when you cut curly hair when it's wet, you really don't know what it's gonna look like once it's dried. So my next tip for you is to stick with large hair ties or scrunchies. Honestly, scrunchies are a curly girl's best friend, or curly guy, whoever it is that's watching. Honestly, the best thing for your hair. Avoid these little teensy weensy hair ties. I have a couple. I'm not gonna lie, if I have just like a small bit of my hair or I want to do like a couple like little buns or something, I will use these, but I'll keep them quite loose because I can guarantee you like 95% of the time when I use one of these, my hair gets caught and it's a whole nightmare to get it out, and you don't want to rip your hair. I have to usually soak my hair and I have to put like a bunch of conditioner in it to try and get this out. Honestly, just stick to a scrunchie. It's the best thing to use. Okay, so my next thing, you guys are gonna laugh at me because I'm gonna look like a weirdo for a little bit, but I'm gonna show you how to style your hair or what to do with your hair at nighttime so your hair doesn't look completely crazy in the morning if you want to make your curls last a little bit longer. First, you're going to take your scrunchie. You're going to flip your hair over like this so all your hair comes forward. Then what you're going to do is you're going to create a pineapple, as they call it. So you're going to put your hair like this and you're going to just put your hair tie around once. That is it, just once. And by doing that and not wrapping it around a bunch of times, basically you're preventing your hair from getting any sort of creases and stuff and like making the curls look a weird shape so it looks better in the morning. So yes, I look a little crazy. I'm gonna look extra crazy in a second. Get yourself one of these silk or satin bonnets. You can get them on Amazon, that's where I got mine. So flip your hair over, put this on, and then I look like a weirdo, but don't make fun because my hair is gonna look amazing in the morning. So do this at nighttime because it's gonna protect your hair, because when you roll around in your sleep, often your hair gets all like frizzy and crazy, and yeah, this basically prevents that from happening. Only thing I have to say is if you're a messy sleeper like me, it may take a little bit of adjusting because at first this thing did not stay on my head. Even though the elastic's quite tight, I'd still find it at the bottom of my bed. I'm like, how did it get there? I'm honestly the craziest sleeper. So this has actually helped once I learned to sleep a little bit neater. But yeah, get yourself one of these things, guys, because honestly, it'll make a difference in how your hair looks in the morning. In the morning, you just take that off, just take your hair tie out, do a flip and a shake is usually what I need to do just to kind of get my hair going again. You probably need a little spray. Keep some water in a spray bottle so you can like refresh it, and maybe a little hair cream or a little bit of a styling spray, and then you're good to go. This next tip may sound a little bit weird, but it's kind of true with my experience. So understand that your hair's curly and don't try and style it like white people hair. And that's just this general statement. White people can have curly hair too. But let me just tell you, so I'm mixed. I grew up with basically all white friends. I live in Barrie. It is a predominantly white city. It has grown quite a bit and there's a lot more like different cultures. It's a lot more multicultural than it used to be. But growing up in elementary school, all my friends were white and had straight hair or maybe slightly wavy hair, but for the most part, straight hair. And I didn't have a lot of role models or anything when it came to curly hair. So I had to figure out a lot of these things on my own. And one of the things I noticed is I tried to style my hair like I saw my girlfriends style their hair, and it didn't always work out. So what you need to do is you gotta figure out what curly hairstyles and what techniques work for your hair. And this is just a tip, just like send a little extra love to you guys, because I know sometimes having curly hair is hard and I've had so many insecurities growing up. I just want to tell you, your hair is beautiful the way it is. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone else tell you that it's not beautiful, that it's not neat, that it's not professional, because that's been an issue with many African American women in their workforce over the years. Like, that's just something that a lot of women have had to deal with. I just wanted to end with a little story for you guys. When I used to work at Sephora, I once had this client and I was helping her with a foundation at the beauty studio. And she looks at me and she's like, "Do you hate your hair?" And I was like, first I just like paused for a second because I was caught off guard. Like, who asks that, right? I would maybe understand this comment if it was coming from a woman with similar hair to me. Maybe she had her own struggles. Maybe she wasn't quite getting along with her curly hair. But this was coming from a middle-aged white woman with straight short hair. And I'm just like, who are you to ask this type of question? Like, why would you word it that way? But I just simply said, I'm like, no, I actually really like my hair. And she's like, oh. But like, it was just such a weird question. And I think it comes from a society that believes that curly hair is one of those things that if you have it, you don't want it. You hate your curly hair, you want straight hair. All curly hair people want to straighten their hair. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted out, I feel like, in our society and our society believes. And I think the more we work on that and the more we like come together, you know, curly hair society, like band together, then we can, you know, teach women and men with curly hair, natural hair, to embrace and love their hair for how it is, because it's honestly, it's so beautiful and unique to you. I just wanted to end on that note. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some really helpful tips. So if you like this video, if it did help you out, make sure you give it a thumbs up, because honestly that would help me out so much. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe and join the family. I put up new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.